welcome back to the channel. It's Key here. We're going to be talking about me and Harley's breastfeeding journey. We made it to 2 years, y'all. Our journey was not the easiest journey, nor was it the hardest. We went through, tough times at the very beginning. We came through some hiccups. After that, we had a good experience. When she was first born, I wanted to breastfeed her immediately. I had, been dreaming about breastfeeding, and I had all these little things of how I wanted my labor to go, how I wanted our experience to go. Like, I just knew exactly how I wanted everything to be. But the truth is, like, nothing works out how we want it to. It works out how it's supposed to, and nothing's black and white. There's a gray area too. Immediately when she came out, I wanted to breastfeed, so I'm like, can you please help me? Like, I was talking to my doula, can you please help me just pull down my bra so I can go ahead and breastfeed her while I was doing skin to skin. And through that process, like, she wasn't latching, and they had me try a nipple ring because she wasn't latching and stuff, and it made me feel like something was wrong with me. But little did I know, like, after that, actually, some babies don't breastfeed immediately when they come out. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's majority don't even breastfeed after they come out. Like, they've been in the womb, they've received all this nutrients, from being connected to the placenta and everything, and just having you as their source. It's like, duh, Kiana, like, she don't want to breastfeed, nothing's wrong with you, just let it be, let it flow, enjoy the experience. But it wasn't like that for me. I was stressing. I was like, what's going on? And then with the nipple shield, it was just like, and honestly, it can intervene with your breastfeeding. The nipple shield isn't the same as the actual nipple, so it's kind of like using a bottle where they get accustomed to it, and then the baby doesn't want your nipple. Now, some babies don't always have that, but I didn't want that to happen with Harley. If I could go back, I would ditch the nipple shield. I would just flow with the process. I was like, I need a lactation consultant. Like, she's feeding every freaking 30-45 minutes, whatever. What was my baby doing? Cluster feeding. And I had done so much research, and I guess I just didn't imagine it going how it went. So everything was just like, okay, wait, like, what is this? But I just wanted to have a good experience with my daughter. I just wanted to make sure I was able to breastfeed, that I was doing the very best that I could for her. With that, like, the lactation consultant came in, she told me everything was normal, she's doing great. But then we got home, she dropped like a pound, which is normal typically, but doctors typically make you feel like something's kind of wrong with you depending on the doctor. So yeah, like, she had dropped a pound. I was experiencing pain. She was falling asleep, I was falling asleep. My nipple, like, had become deformed every time, like, she got off of it. This nipple to this day is like, still, it does not look the same. But I had seen multiple lactation consultants and everything, because at that time, like, I was breastfeeding, pumping, feeding her that bottle, then having to clean that bottle. So it was a lot, and I was not getting sleep. I wasn't eating properly. I wasn't having that time to truly care for myself. So as a first-time mom, like, obviously I'm not accustomed to these things. I don't know. I may have read these things, but I have no experience to base it off of. So it was just like a really rough period for me and for her. And I just wanted to make sure, that she was good. She was getting what she needed, especially after the doctors had told me, like, if she doesn't gain the weight, then we're gonna have to start supplementing. And for me, supplementing was not the route that I wanted to go. If it came down to that, yeah, my baby gonna supplement, because my baby need to be here with her mama. But also, I was like trying to wake up at a certain time to make sure I didn't miss any of her cues once I had gotten to sleep, and it was just really a lot. And one thing that I really want to stress is, like, eventually, after a while, like, I just started breastfeeding her on demand. That worked perfect. Whenever she was ready, I just throw her on that thing, and it was great. Babies will tell you when they're hungry, just like your stomach tell you. So with our experience, like, with us falling asleep and all those symptoms that I mentioned, I had seen multiple lactation consultants, and There was one before I saw the one in Georgia, but the one that I saw in North Carolina, she actually told me that Harley had a lip tie. Which is basically like a restriction of the mouth. We all have one, it just depends on how severe yours is, but Harley had a pretty severe one. It wasn't until I got to Georgia and I was still having issues with breastfeeding her, and I met this lady named Carrie Ann. She was a lactation consultant, and I'm so grateful for running across the website and everything, and actually meeting her. When we got in there, she asked me all these questions. She got up in Harley's mouth, did these exercises and stuff, and really assessed Harley's mouth and discovered that she had a posterior tongue tie. Now, I had done the research for me that I decided that I wanted to get the tongue tie and lip tie, you know, laser. I wanted to because I was having so many issues. Harley was having so many issues, and I just felt like the pros of it outweighed the cons. So she got it lasered. It was a quick process, really quick. It was so funny though, because when we were doing it, like Harley, I really felt like everybody had the same outfit on. So except for me and Harley, obviously, but everybody in there had the same outfit on. Harley was so nice in the beginning, but after they were done, she was just like scoping out their outfits and was like, nope, I ain't fucking with you. Like, nope, move. Bye. The biggest part for me was like getting in there and doing the exercises, because afterwards you have to do certain exercises with them multiple times a day to make sure that basically that scar tissue does not form. So that's what I had to do, and it was really tough, but I had to do it because I just wanted to make sure that, you know, it was done and it was done correctly and there was no backtracking or anything like that. And I would hate to have put her through that again. It was smooth sailing from there. Like, we started incorporating food around 6 months, a little bit after 6 months, I think. I waited until she was 6 months, but also waited until she started showing signs. So we started with like finger food, experienced different textures versus pureeing baby food. That worked well with us, although I was still breastfeeding on demand as well. It wasn't until last year, 2021, I think about March, is when, you know, I kind of transitioned from strictly breastfeeding on the breast, because we didn't use bottles either. Initially, like I said, like we had used bottles to kind of get her weight back up, and then we used it for a little bit in Georgia, but then it became a time where she was like, nope, I don't want the bottle anymore. She was not doing pacifiers either. She did not like pacifiers. It wasn't until March where, you know, she started going to daycare. So for one, she started going to daycare. For two, she started having visits with her dad. And those things just really, it was good things. It was good for her. But for our breastfeeding relationship, I just had to start pumping more. So with me pumping more, my breasts were not accustomed to the pump. My milk supply had decreased, and it was just really had me worried. Like, I tried to increase my eating, tried to increase my water and stuff intake, because I was already going through like a very stressful situation and everything, which can also, you know, decrease your milk supply. So it was just all these different things. It was so funny because like the very first weekend like she had spent with her dad, when she came back, I live like an hour away from him, 45 minutes to an hour. When I tell you, this girl, like, we didn't even make it 10 minutes down the road until she was crying for her milkies. And I had to like literally pull over and, you know, like breastfeed my baby because she wanted her milkies. And, you know, I completely understand that, because to go from having your milk every day when you want it and then going somewhere where you don't get it at all, you know, can be very traumatizing for a kid. Like, you're used to something, it's like a comfort, you know. Kids breastfeed for different reasons than nutrition. It wasn't until December, I think the day after her birthday is when we actually started weaning. And I did not want to wean. She didn't want to wean. I had to make the decision to wean, so therefore I can start taking my medication for my treatment plan. And, you know, in a way, I'm kind of happy to have my body kind of back to myself, you know, because I loved breastfeeding, and I would have went for as long as she wanted to be honest. I'm happy to have my body back, because why am I happy to have my body back, to be honest? Like, it takes a lot on you. Breastfeeding is very stressful. It's a great experience, but it is stressful. And I don't think people realize, like, it's a full-time job, especially when you want to like get things done. You want to cook, you want to clean, you want to journal, you want to take a shower, you want to go for a run, whatever the case may be. Like, your kid want to breastfeed when your kid want to breastfeed. And sometimes they're not okay with you saying, hey, mommy's doing this right now, or redirecting them. They're not okay with that. And to kind of have my body back to be able to do stuff when I want to do it, even though she's a toddler and she still runs this house, to be honest. I'm happy to have my body back, but I'm also, I know that this has been a tough transition for her, because even the day before yesterday, like, she just wanted them, like she was crying, and I wish I could have gave them to her, but I just know with me doing my medication, like, it's not okay. And you know, I just want to say that I'm so thankful for the opportunity to breastfeed. I really hope that, you know, you take something from this video. I love you all, and I'll see you next time.